So while we are discussing food flavors and the biotechnology of food flavors, now let's talk about the production of esters and aldehydes. These are some of the important flavor compounds again. As we earlier said that most of the esters have got fruity flavor and most of the fruit flavors are ester in nature. If we talk about the production of these esters, normally they are produced by yeast. For example, Candida utils is one example that can act upon glucose and it can produce ethyl acetate. And this would be only producing this kind of flavor compound whenever the small amount of ethanol is already present. This is one of the examples by which we can produce esters, but these there are detailed examples in your course book regarding different studies that have been done and different conditions. It was beyond the scope of this one presentation to discuss about all the details about how many different strains and different conditions have been practiced by different scientists to produce these esters. So I'll be giving you a very brief overview here, but I will encourage you to look at the detailed examples in your textbooks. So the other examples including different esters they are produced. The compound which are produced are acetates, propionates, butyrates, ethyl butyrate or isoamyl acetate. They are generally present. This isoamyl acetate is especially found in strawberry flavor or banana flavor. These are some of the major esters that are produced. They have got strong fruity flavors. But again, as I said, they are not the only single compound. The flavors are always a very complex chemistry. So if you look at the metabolic pathway that is utilized for formation of esters, generally it involves alcoholysis of acyl-coenzyme A compounds, and it is also possible that we can directly esterify some of the organic acids. So these are the two different mechanisms that are adopted by different microorganisms. Especially yeast would go for the first method, which is alcoholysis of acyl coenzyme A, and mostly the filamentous fungi, they go for the second mechanism, which is direct esterification of organic acid from different substrates. So these two mechanisms are utilized by different microorganisms to produce these ester compounds. Ethyl acetate, along with many other flavor compounds, it would be producing banana flavor. And similarly, 2-methyl ethyl butyrate that has got major contribution to the apple flavor. Similarly, this fruity banana flavor is produced by yeast and fungus. It can be produced by either mechanism as we discussed, and we generally utilize yeast or different fungus for production of such flavors for industrial applications. People have studied different strains. As I said, I'm not talking all these strains here, but some of the strains can be discussed and others are available for your textbooks. So strains of Ceratocystis, they have been identified. These are the strains that produce many ester compounds having predominant fruity flavors. The type of flavor compound that have been produced, it depends upon the carbon nitrogen source and their relative proportions in the culture medium that is provided to these microorganisms. So this would have an impact on the kind of end product that are manufactured. And it not only this is the one variable that would define the kind of esters which are produced, is also it would also depend upon what different strains or species of microorganism are utilized for fermentation process. So they would also be having a major impact on the kind of compounds are produced and the relative proportion of these compounds. And as I said, that minor change in these proportions can affect the flavor very dramatically. People have also tested some other strains, for example, Ceratocystis in the submerged fermentation systems. The media they use is dextrose potato medium, and using different strain of the same species, they would have different impacts. So this is important to know that what exact strain and what exact nutrition medium is to be given and what conditions are to be given for production of specific flavor compounds. So this is highly complex, as well as you have to be very much specific if you have to develop systems for production of flavors. Similarly, people have used Kluyveromyces marxianus. This is one of the strain that has produced many of the fruity flavors, especially ethyl acetate as a dominant one, using solid state fermentation, especially from cassava and bagasse. So it all depends upon what is the kind of raw material that is available, abundantly, cheaply available, and that can be what microorganisms can be utilized for production of what flavors, and the conditions, they have to be optimized for any commercial production. The second part is the aldehyde production, aldehyde as flavors. So all the aldehydes, they are aliphatic in nature, aromatic, and terpenoid aldehydes, which are very much important from the point of view that they are the major contributors of different flavors. There are different microorganisms that have been used. Mostly they would be utilizing some intermediates during the production of alcohols from keto acids. So once we are converting these alcohols into keto acids, different intermediates are formed. These intermediates have got these flavor compounds produced in these flavor culture mediums, and they can be extracted. The example is if you convert bioethanol, the ethanol to acetaldehyde, if you use Candida utils, they would be producing different flavors, and this can be exploited for flavor production. There have been different technologies such as immobilized lipase. People have used this enzyme that is extracted from Candida cylindriacea, and this can be especially in non-aqueous system. So this kind of immobilized enzyme technology has been also utilized to produce a broad range of esters, an aldehyde kind of compound, especially ethyl butyrate, isomyl acetate, or isobutyl acetates. So if we talk about the flavor contribution of ethyl butyrate, it generally gives you pineapple, banana flavor, and these two have got a major market share as well. So this is how we produce esters and aldehydes, although this is not very detailed, as I said, because it involves a lot of different microorganisms, a lot of different conditions. Different compounds are produced under different conditions. So you can refer to your textbook for some more examples about production of esters and aldehydes for commercial flavor production.